Yo, what's up, YouTube family? We're back on a Friday and working on the hood still. Um, so in the last video, which as of this point I haven't released yet, haven't had time, but yeah, I've been working on the car. I had wet sanded the hood. I attempted to polish it up, but I still had issues seeing the sanding marks, etc. I just wasn't happy with it, right? Tried a few different things, still didn't get there. And when all else fails, I said, hey, I gotta sand some more. So that's what I've been doing today. Been sanding on the hood some more. We went over it again with 2,000 grit, and then we went over it several times with 3,000 grit. So as you can see, it almost looks polished from all the damn hand sanding I've been doing on it. It still has that dull finish, but we did get a few more of the imperfections out. There's still some that are just, unfortunately to me, a little bit too deep for me to risk trying to get out. So I'm gonna just polish it as is and live with the little imperfections. Some of them you can see now, but at the end of the day, your average person will never notice. But all in all, my hope here is that now that hopefully I got good coverage with the 3,000 grit sanding paper, that would allow me to get the majority of these sanding marks out post polish, right? So after I polish it, I don't want to look at it and see any evidence that I was sanding on it. And before, that's what we had. So more likely it's going to take some time here. Me doing several passes with the buffer, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky, and because I've invested so much energy sanding on it already, that it'll just buff right on up. Time will tell, so stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna fire up the buffer, and I got a whole arsenal of compound here, so I'm probably gonna do a combination of both. Honestly though, what I'm thinking I'm gonna use is that McGuire's Ultimate on one section, and then on the other section I'm gonna try the CSI, just to see if there's a difference. So far I can just tell a difference in the consistency of the stuff, but they both kind of seem to do pretty much the same thing. But we'll see. You know, I just want it to be right. So whatever's gonna work is gonna work. I got a few other grades or levels of polishing compound there too. So hopefully between everything that I got, I'll be able to knock it out. I'm still waiting too on one additional pad for my buffer, some microfiber polishing, or not polish, yeah, buffing pad. Cutting pad to be specific. It's supposed to help cut out any swirls, scratches, or imperfections. I ordered it, but it's not gonna get here until this evening, so I'll have that with me tomorrow. But if all goes well, I will never even need it. Or maybe I'll need it in a different section of the car. So let's hope for the best and see what kind of result we can get here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the polisher ready and see what we can do. Stay tuned, guys. I'll be back to you in a few with some results. All right, current situation. So back to sanding. Never ending sanding, because as you can see here, that's incomplete sanding. That is never gonna buff out. So I'm learning. A lot of sanding. You can see this side is mostly good, but there's still some areas also, especially up top here, that still need sanding. So we live and we learn. More sanding to do. Hopefully this is my last round of sanding. I'm now learning what to look for and what to avoid. So yeah, one uniform matte finish that is almost to a high gloss. As you can see, the bulb's really good there. The main reason why I ended up doing this is I had a couple of deep sanding marks that didn't really reveal themselves until I started to polish, and there's no way they were gonna polish out on their own or with it, no matter what kind of pad or compound I use. So, you know, finally just bit the bullet and started sanding and was able to get those marks out. So I no longer see those. I know those won't be an obstacle for me. And besides that, it had shined up pretty good. But I decided, just as error on the side of caution, let me go the extra mile and continue to sand the entire thing with 2,000 grit again, and then go over that with 3,000 grit. And that's basically what you have here. That leaves a nice smooth surface, and it should buff up easy with almost any compound I choose. But the problem is I have to do that for the entire hood once again. So that takes time because it's all a manual process that I'm doing by hand. But that's okay. Tomorrow we should be able to get this hood complete. And that's been my overall objective for the week. Now I'm dreading all the other panels on the car that I have to do the same thing to, but you know, the hood is a fairly large panel, so I don't think it'll be that bad overall, because every panel was not as bad in terms of the clear coat finish as the hood. So the hood was probably the hardest. The roof was even not as difficult. The saving grace with the roof, for whatever reason, I didn't get as many scratches, sanding scratches. I was able to buff a lot out on the roof. Maybe I need to look at it again in the sunlight, or I got to wipe it down and double check. But even if I have to do the roof with some additional sanding, I kind of know what to do now, so no big deal. That's something that, you know, may not happen right now or over the winter, but spring comes, I know what to do. So my thing is to finish up this hood. I need to do the trunk, I need to do the top portions of this quarter, and I need to fix the runs or sags right here. Yeah, you can see them real good there. That's super ugly, but that's all in the clear coat. So honestly, I don't think it's gonna take that long to do. The trunk may take me a little bit longer. It's dirty, it's got all kind of compound and stuff on it, but it's got a lot of orange peel, not a lot of fish eyes or imperfections, so fairly optimistic I'll be able to knock that out. And aside from that, probably gonna do the top of the fenders. For sure, I'm gonna do the top of the fender over here because it's got some miscellaneous crap in it, much like the hood. Slightly worried about this fender because it looks quite dull already up top, and I feel like I didn't really get much clear on it. So this is the one I'm most nervous about. I'll get to it last, just because I don't want to stress myself out. You know, if I get to the fender and I have an issue, no big deal. I can reshoot one small panel and get it straight. But yeah, guys, that's where we're at. The saga continues. Things that you think you get done in an hour or two can turn into days of work. And when I say days, keep in mind I'm not working 8 hours at a time on this car, right? I got a day job I go to, and then I put in a couple hours here and there every day. But this particular hood, man, I must have at least 8 hours into it. So something to keep in mind if you're ever gonna try to do this type of work, and or if you're paying for this type of work. Man, when these guys give you a price, it's not BS, man. It takes a lot of effort to get a nice paint job that you're gonna be happy with. And as a painter who has to put their name on it, man, you're only as good as your last paint job. So a lot of this business is word of mouth. So if they give you crap and you paid for something top notch, they're gonna tell everybody about it. So that's why your painters have your cars for so long. That's why things are quite expensive, because the materials are not cheap. And yeah, it takes a lot of labor, it really does. Now, granted, I'm a rookie. I may not be using all the proper tools to get things done quick. I don't have the experience yet, so other guys could probably run circles around me in terms of completion time. But just all I'm trying to get at is just respect the work. It's a skilled trade, and it's something that not everybody can do. Everybody can try, but man, as I'm learning, there's a lot of room for error. There's a lot of little things that you can do that can cause you a lot of heartache and headache and money. So that's that. Just wanted to share that with you guys. That's the update for today. And let's stay tuned and see where we can get the car to in terms of paint and assembly. You know what? I just talking out loud before I end here, I was thinking I was gonna have the whole front end reassembled again, the grill, the bumper, the valance, the hood trim, you know, start to put the car together and you guys would really have something to be like, oh wow, it really looks good now. But looks like that's at least a week away at this pace. So stay tuned. I'm your host, Shawnee C, here at Motor City Customs, and this is the 1963 Impala build. Stay tuned, and we'll get you something good to look at in the very near future. Remember to hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like the content, please share it out with your friends. Any feedback, comment below. Thanks again. Peace.